All right, TMT, good to see you, man. Back
Bless, brother.
again. Salute, brother. What's been
Yes,
going
sir.
on, man? You looking good, looking healthy over there in
Yeah, man. Lost some
Brazil.
weight, been working out, and probably drop about 30 pounds and try to keep it going. I think I kind of been inspired by the healthy craze these people on out here, and
Hmm.
been got a gym downstairs, so I've been taking advantage of that. But
That's what's
it's
up.
been more or less a good transition to this point, being in Brazil. Once I've
Mm.
kind of gotten all the goofy shit out the way and out my system, now I can kind of
Yeah.
exist, like I said, and I'm still a shadow dwelling type dude. So now I incorporate that even internationally, and I think that once brothers get to that point where you start to become your natural self in another country, now you're freeing yourself. And I know a cat out here. I was just saying, worked in Hollywood a bunch of years, production manager, millionaire, and
Mm.
dude who had Lambos and shit. And he's about to buy property off the beach in Bahia in the middle of nowhere, get off the
Mm.
grid. You know what I'm saying? He said, I don't want to
Right.
be around people. I don't want to have nothing. I'll fucking buy ATV. And he said there's no police there.
Hmm.
It's not even a bank. Like it's
Right.
literally just seclusion and just quiet. You know what I mean? He's about
Mm.
50 some years old. He said, yo, I'm done. He said, I'm selling my little property out in Miami. He's selling his penthouse he got out here. He said, yo, I don't even want to be in a city no more. He said
Mm.
being in a city right now is probably the dumbest thing you could be, just like something you said in the past. Um, and he's basically accomplished the ultimate goal that we've been talking about, and it's been a wonder to watch somebody actually doing it
Yeah.
that had everything and still arrived at our same mentality that when you can get all of this shit and it don't mean nothing. And I'm at the point where even just being out with in the streets and chasing the broads and all of that kind of shit, to me that's become old news for the most part. Where I might still hang out with my boys, but I might just have a little drink and be in the cut, and I don't really be engaging too much. Um, I'm at the point where my Portuguese is decent enough where I could talk to regular women that got jobs and got a different life. You know what I'm saying? I got girls that come
Yeah.
out from Sao Paulo. One is a police officer. And she catch an 8-hour bus ride to come kick it with me and shit. Like
Yeah.
eight,
Damn.
8 hours on a bus and chill. And took 8 hours home.
Are you
And
serious, bro?
yeah,
Wow. So
gorgeous.
when they choose you out there, they really doing some choosing, huh?
Yeah,
I mean, they
he's
putting work behind it. And she a police
yes, sir.
officer too, so she ain't no hooker or nothing like that.
Yeah, she
But
speaks English like we talking right now, and I'm starting to kind of like Sao Paulo as opposed to Rio. Once you get that out your system, especially as an older man, I think that it's more city vibe, more modern. I think the apartments and housing is better. It's cheaper, and you get a nicer place. Like new refrigerators and
mm,
digitized everything, and you're like, okay, this is, out here. I had to move away from Copacabana,
mm,
Ipanema. I live in Barra de Juca, which is 15, 20 minutes away, which is
mm,
more like families. It's a little more upscale. It looks like from the beach, it looks like Miami. You know what I'm
mm.
saying? Copacabana is the landing spot for most people when they visit.
Right,
I have a
right.
close friend from my whole life. My cousin are here right now visiting, and they're in Copacabana. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm,
I go out there every once in a while, but after a while, I gotta get the fuck out of there. You know what I'm saying? It's not really my energy no more because I've kind of gotten over that. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? The hoes and the thermoses and all of that shit.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
if even if I
the whole party lifestyle. Because
yeah,
you're
even if
not
I
really
do
in
all that,
Brazil until you meet regular everyday women. You know what I
right?
mean?
You have regular relationships, you have regular interactions, and then you start to, you start liking that more. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm,
then you start to get out there and realize, just having basic Portuguese and a little bit of confidence goes a long way here. And if you give yourself an opportunity to even just talk to a woman, even if she say no, they're not gonna be like, get the fuck out of my face, nigga. Like it's just gonna be real polite, and you be like, all right, cool, well, have a nice, and you just keep it moving. Because 5 minutes later, another gorgeous woman gonna walk down the street. So, you
mhm.
know, it's what I've learned here is you got to kind of work within your confines, especially with moderation of things. Like you have your fun, of course, have your
Mm,
fun, enjoy, experience things, but always do it in moderation because here it's a land of vices because you have your money's longer, so you have more access to your vices. So if you're a person that has a propensity for drinking, you're gonna be an alcoholic here because it's gonna be easy to buy a bottle of whiskey that's only fucking $11. You see what I'm
mm,
saying? And whatever the case, and then if you hang with the party girls, they're gonna drink all the time, and you're gonna be drinking because they're drinking, whatever the fuck they're doing. So if
mhm,
that's not really where you are mentally and just for our health in general, you know, um, everything in moderation. Yeah, they got great steakhouses, but I might go once a month as opposed
mhm,
to once every week or twice a week like I did when I got here because I was overindulging and I got fat. You see what I'm saying?
mhm.
And then I realized that like, yo, you're looking around and all the guys here are in shape.
Yeah,
So I don't want to be the chubby American trying to act like I'm attracting something, you know what I mean, outside of
right,
what my financial status may be because I'm not in my best condition. So
right.
once I started to lose weight and I was starting to attract women normally, I would advise any man to be very health conscious here. Everyone here is health conscious. It's workout stations every fucking couple of meters on the beach. You can walk down the beach and get some pull ups in, some dips. You can
Mhm,
rent a bike and ride the bike. There's no excuse. They got gyms and uh, what's it called? CrossFit all over the beach. You can just go in there for like $5 and just get a quick little, and just keep walking. You see what I'm saying?
mhm,
But it's like that. It's I feel like Brazil has definitely saved my life as far as health goes.
mm,
Um, because the food is more natural, but of course you have to eat a proper meal. And they eat a lot of carbs here. You might get a steak and then they're gonna give you some rice, then they're gonna give you French fries, and you're like, what is salad? You know what I'm saying? Like
mhm,
it's not natural. They don't just be like salad with the food like we are. So I had to kind of learn how to govern myself as far as eating goes because the food is delicious here. But I had to start, I went and bought some salmon and things like that and grill and broccoli, and I'm gonna make that for dinner and eat
mm,
health conscious. Had a smoothie like right before you called and stuff. So I think it's imperative that you make it work for you, especially if you're gonna live here, because it can
mm,
get very out of control real quick. If you have
mm.
a sexual vice, believe me, I was there at one point, and I had to kind of pull myself out of that because it becomes a slight addiction when
Yeah,
it's that easy. And you have
yeah,
to separate the fantasy from the reality.
right,
And
right.
the women here, if I had to give just an analysis, they're all the same. So don't think that you're coming here and there's going to be these fairy godmothers. There in
Right.
Rio, it's a very sexual city. It's a very liberal city. Women are very cool with going on a date and then going to get fucked. You see what I'm
Mm.
saying? And it's not a
Got
thing.
it.
It's not, we're prudes compared to Brazil. You see what I'm saying? Or Rio. So, and
Wow.
I've had women like that, and I was surprised at how they wanted to end the night off. And I was just thinking, okay, you want to go home and whatever, and they wanted to continue the night, so to speak. And
Mm,
it's a cultural thing here. So as a man, especially in our world,
mm,
um, your libido will carry you a lot of the way, but
yeah,
your mind is going to start to correct you, and then
right.
you're going to start slowing down. You're going to start not liking the girls that who's that are out here for $60 a night. You're not going to want that no more. And you're not going to want to go to Mabs. I don't fuck with that place. I don't go there. It's not the type of place to do like with decorum, and you're not gonna feel like you your best when you fuck with
Mhm.
girls because again, it's all fantasy, and we're too intelligent to succumb to that fantasy.
Yeah,
So eventually you're gonna feel a little bit underwhelmed,
yeah.
so to speak. You're
So
gonna
so
feel
it's almost like you have to get it out of your system. So I'll give you an example. In
mm,
America, for me, I ain't saying for the next guy, maybe the next guy I'm beating dime pieces everywhere. But for me
Right.
in America, it's extremely difficult. Not that I don't apply the game. There's nothing wrong with me though. I don't have low self-esteem. I don't look at American women and their rejection of me to feel any kind of way. So I don't feel bad about it. But here in America, at least for me, I don't know about guys who are watching or anybody else, but it's hard for me to meet young women who are not obese. Basically, this is what I'm thinking about. A woman under 30, don't matter how much under 30, a woman under 30, not obese, pretty good shape, and at least a 5 in the face. Like for me in America, that's like finding a needle in a haystack. Not that they're not there, but having one to rotate with me, because a lot of chicks that's a 5 in America and she's not overweight, she thinks that she's a 20 out of a 10. You
Right,
know what
right,
I mean?
right, right,
So
right,
I think for me, when I went to Brazil the first time, because I've been there twice, but this was back in 2005 and I went in 2006. So I'm a long way away from, having any experience in Brazil other than ones I had back then. But I remember the shock that I had getting
yeah,
there and seeing these beautiful women. And they weren't necessarily dimes all over the place, but they were beautiful women and they weren't fat and they were nice. That just knocked me out the box because
yeah.
it's difficult here to find nice women and then nice attractive women. That's another thing. So first of all, there are really no nice women in America. They all fucked up, got bad attitudes. But then to find somebody
Yeah.
nice and attractive, that's something totally different. So I think when a guy gets off the plane, he has to get that out of the system like you did. You had to get it out of your system and then you kind of settle down to who you are. Is that correct?
Right. Yeah, indeed. I think finding a young overweight woman that's a 5 here is going to be hard to do. First of all,
Oh
um,
wow.
it's rare
Wow.
to see a young chubby girl here. They may be a
Mm,
little thick, or maybe a little bit, but never like obese. I haven't seen an
right.
obese like just hanging off. And I think I may have seen that like an older woman, like an older, but not. It's not normal. That's not even a thing. You know what I mean? And you'd be surprised. Even my cousin, when he went home, that's the first thing he noticed was how fat the women were from being
Yes.
here for like 2 months.
Yes.
He's like,
Yes.
damn, I didn't realize, because you're so used to seeing fit and trim and either work out a lot or just naturally, beach body, slimmies, mediums, thick girls, but you never see fat like that.
Mm,
They're here, but not in a way where it's like abundant. You know what I mean? So most girls care about their appearance here. It's a lot of aesthetically places that deal with aesthetics. Your teeth whitening places, your fucking dental places on every corner. They're very conscious of looks here. Very, I would say, a little shallow, but they're known even from the men perspective. Most of the men are in decent shape. They're always on the beach. They're always working out. They're always playing volleyball or soccer. Very active.
mm-hmm.
Jogging. It could be a damn near rainy day like it is here, and people are still jogging.
Mm,
Still on the beach running. The rain is not stopping them.
mm-hmm.
5, 6 in the morning, the beach is full of people working out, riding bikes.
Mm-hmm.
So the culture here is definitely fitness minded, and when you do get here, it is very overwhelming to your libido. It's almost like someone took a
Wow.
defibrillator and you just like your sex drive is awakened. You know what I'm saying? And
Wow.
I remember telling my boys like I was always horny walking around here, especially when you're on the beach or you're walking on the street and there's so many like attractive women. And during the nice weather, they're walking around in bikinis with flip flops and thongs, and they have shorts on with the boobs in the bikini top just bouncing, and it's like tan lines and oil, and you're like, fuck, like, you know what I'm saying? So eventually, but the thing about here is always a place where you can quell that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like you go around like these dudes that's fucking want women but can't get them, and it drives them crazy and they do some dumb shit.
Right. Right.
It's like you
Exactly.
can go somewhere and get that out your system. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? And get the woman that you just want for now, right now, and get that type phenotype in the bed and whatever, however, and you relieve that for yourself. And I think that's why the men here have such a calmness about them. They're not really stressed. I never met a Brazilian dude that was like a thirsty motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? It was always like real, just like whatever with, even pretty girls. Like it's normal for them. They grew up with this. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So they're not as triggered by beauty. I seen pretty men walk down the street and Brazilian men not even like do this. You know what I'm saying? While we like, they walk right by it. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So
But let me ask you this, because you have traveled a few places. The consensus that I'm getting from men who travel, even from my own experience, although my experience is pretty limited, it appears that although there are nice looking women in America, America probably is the worst place that a man can be in as far as trying to deal with a woman in any magnitude, whether that's a relationship or just
mm,
sexually. So do you find it that the guys that you talk to that travel with you, is it just much easier on the mind and the heart, the psyche, to just deal with women and be in your masculine and just deal with women? Like in America, it's such an it's like a war, it's adversarial. It's like, you have
yeah,
to play a war game with a woman. Of course, female nature is universal, and women have what they're trying to accomplish. You have what you're trying to accomplish. But overall, my question is that do you feel that relationship tension that you would normally feel in America?
no. I've dated a woman here for about 6 months. We
Mm-hmm.
broke it off, but it wasn't never really masculine feminine thing. It's just some of the women aren't really don't have the aptitude for it. So she might still be a little American acting, but it's not the extreme. And then sometimes it becomes a money thing, and it kind of loses its zeal when they don't have a lot. So that's something that kind of I started to weed women out in that way. But the girl I'm dealing with now, or the couple of girls I'm dealing with now, both are very man first. Very what do you need? Do you need anything? They're type of girls, you want me to pay for this when we go out to
Mm-hmm.
eat. They
Wow.
offer, um, very accommodating, and it's not that struggle. They kind of fall into your masculinity naturally.
Wow.
Um, and in the masculinity that they kind of, I can give an example person. Like, it's easy for a woman, it's possible for you to find a woman here that actually admires you,
Mm-hmm.
right? I think finding a woman to admire you in America is virtually impossible. But
Wow.
you can have a girl that you come in the room and you say something, you can see her eyes light up with admiration for you. You see what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And the respect and the actual, you can see it. It's palpable. It's not,
Mm-hmm.
she's not pretending, she's not hiding it. They naturally gravitate towards you as a man. They're very affectionate here. If she likes you, there's no way you're not gonna know. You know what I'm saying? You don't really have to question how she feels. Like, damn, does she? You know how you deal with an American? Like, damn, does she really fuck with me? Does she not? It's always like this. She don't want to really submit into you, so you're always kind of on the fence with her. She's on the fence with you, but you're kind of just moving through a relationship with never really establishing how she feels about you because she's always hot and cold. Here
Mm-hmm.
is usually the women are so hot for you that when they do kind of cool down, you know it, and then you kind of know it may have ran its course, and you know you could fall back. Um, but I always figure like it's better for a woman to be hot for you than lukewarm.
Yeah.
You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because lukewarm causes confusion. It always has you on the defensive, and you're always going to be kind of at her mercy if you're dealing with a woman that's hot and cold.
Yeah.
And if she's cold for you, then you know to just keep stepping. But
Mm-hmm.
usually, you get a lot of women that make the initiative. You know what I mean? They want to be around you. They want to kick it with you. They try to make time. The only thing you might deal with in a place like Rio is she might not have a lot of bread, so you might be fronting a lot of things, and then but still you want her to actually meet you in the middle with some of her services, right? Not
Mm-hmm.
even pussy, just you see something out of place at the crib, straighten up a little bit. If
Yeah.
you're here, don't if you're hungry, we don't have to always go out. You can cook something. It's not
Right.
really about, it's the exchange, because I understand that I have the money, but you can do some things too that
Exactly.
equal, that are satisfactory to me. So
Right.
if you can find a girl that has
Mhm.
that, she might not have money, but she does everything else.
And there
That's
are women who do have money, right?
yes, there are girls that you
And
meet that
so
do have a car.
you just dispelled a myth. I don't know if you realize that, but there's the myth is that every woman in Brazil is just broken looking for a man to take care of her.
No.
That's what, of course, in America, a lot of women say, and a lot of simps say that, oh, you just go over there because the women over there don't have no money, they broke. But you said that you've had women who actually offered to pay for outings and so on and so forth.
Multiple
So that's a
occasions.
huge myth buster right there.
Yeah, multiple occasions. And had jobs. The other one is a teacher, I think, and they, my man has met lawyers, women that have like real careers, their own homes, vehicles. You know, that's not true. It is a lot of poverty here, but it's also a lot of affluence here as well. Where I live, if you've seen, you'll think like, okay, this looks like Miami. You see Porsches and Range Rovers. There's a
Mhm.
Mercedes Benz dealer around the corner, another dealer that has Ferraris and shit in it, motorcycle dealerships all up and down the street. There's a mall
Mhm.
that has Gucci and Louis Vuitton, and you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
All of that expensive shit, Rolex stores in the mall, diamond stores. It's a lot of money here. I don't, you can meet these women all everywhere. They're literally, walking on the street, and I don't think anybody who was here long enough could say I'm wrong. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Especially if that's what you trying to find. Because if you're just looking for a broke chick that just want money and just gonna be around you and
Mhm.
because she want to get some bread out of you, yeah,
Mhm.
there's plenty of those too. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? It's they're falling out, they're falling through the walls. But
Mhm.
if that's what you particularly, if that's the dynamic you want to fuck with, but if you kind of get past the point where you don't want to deal with that and you want a woman that kind of have a little more balance, then yeah, you can find that pretty easily. That's a lot of women here. I particularly don't fuck with chicks that don't have employment of some sort or their own thing going on. It's
Mhm.
really hard for me to fuck with you in that way because it's hard for me to find one that covers the basis.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because usually if she comes from like a favela or something, you can pretty much think like the situation, she don't really have the same understanding. It's kind of like the
Right.
girl from projects,
Mhm.
and you're trying to make her do like certain shit that's just not of her caliber.
Mhm.
So yeah, she's gonna look at you like the money guy because her mom is like, hey, this dude got some money, you better go over there and you know what I'm saying? Because we need this
Mhm.
money type shit. And you'll be
Right.
that guy in the situation. And I've known friends that been on that side of the fence. I've tasted that as well. And
Mhm.
that relationship usually fizzles out once you kind of get, see what's going on. And, and the woman can't really hide how she really feels. Attraction goes above everything. So
Mm.
if she's not attracted to you 100%, I don't give a fuck what it is. It's not worth your time.
Right.
And whatever she's asking for is too much if she's not
Mhm.
attracted to you. So at least, you want the woman that's attracted to you first, that got her own thing, that's not asking you for shit, that just wants time. And, if you got time to give, then by all means,
Absolutely.
make it have fun and try, like my last relationship, I told myself, I'm gonna try this thing out here. I'm gonna give him my best shot. Now, did it work? No, but the relationship ended. But I felt like, at the end of the day, she can't really say I was a foul dude. She
Yeah.
know that she probably realized that damn, I kind of fucked up. And I know it because she reached out multiple times after we stopped talking. She always looking at my Instagram stories. She's, and my man told me, yo, any girl out here you dealt with, you can always get them back. And that's 100% true.
Wow.
Especially if you're American, we have a certain decorum, a certain way of moving that, yeah, a silly girl might take it for granted. And women are slow. So it takes them a while to kind of recognize you once they it take a couple of weeks, you know what I mean? Maybe even a month till they start realizing, oh, I fucked up. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And then now they want to coming back if they probably done fucked a couple of dudes or whatever the hell. But at that point, I'm pretty much done because there's too many women here for me to
Right.
hold up for you. Um,
Exactly.
and I
Exactly.
had another girl within days. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So in essence, I think that the tension, the power struggle is not here. But if you go to some chicks in the hood that was raised by some baby mama with no men around, then you're gonna get a lot of similar dynamics, but
Mm.
probably more extreme because of the poverty.
Yeah.
So you're gonna feel like this is a project chick. You know what I
Mm.
mean? The way she acts, how she looks at her out view on, doing things for herself. She's not gonna have like an independent mind. She's gonna be real, leechy, so to speak. So you're going to get that type of energy. And then for most of us who are in our proper mind, that's going to turn you off. You're not going to want that.
Mm-hmm.
Not long for most
Wow.
part. So, you know what I
I
mean?
see. Do you find yourself gravitating more to Afro Brazilian or that Latina Brazilian or that Asian looking Brazilian or the white looking Brazilian? Is it like because I know that Brazil is probably one of the largest places as far as a black population. I mean, the population there is booming. So for that, for guys who like that melanated woman, and when I was there, I seen a lot of chicks that looked like Keisha down the block. Didn't have the attitude, didn't speak the language, but she looked like Keisha
Mm-hmm.
down the street.
Yeah.
So have you found yourself gravitating more toward the lighter Latinas looking there or the Afro Brazilians? What's been your experience?
Um, I've had a lot of Afro Brazilian girls. The two women I dated were Afro Brazilian. Um, I've kicked it with a couple, a lot of just like the Latina looking ones. I haven't had much of the white girls yet.
Right.
Um, I don't know why. They're attractive, but
Mm,
I've never really like hollered at them. I always like that bohemian look. You know what I'm saying? Like the natural curly hair and the nice fit body and the
yeah.
legs and the thighs. You know what I'm saying? I'm that guy. So that's what I always was. That's what I'm attracted to here for the most part. I like the natural look. I don't
Mm,
like, the girl, the girls with the weaves and shit. I don't fuck with that. And it be out here, but it's not as prominent. But
mm,
it might get braids or something, but I don't really fuck with that. I like the girls who's like got a natural look to them, even just a little afro, you know, short haircuts and the curly hair thing going. Um, that's usually my look. Women of color.
mm,
I've seen a couple Brazilian Asians, which they were alright. You know
mhm,
what I mean? They weren't nothing that's like, oh, but in Sao Paulo, I seen a lot more Asian Brazilian girls that was pretty cute. Um, because it's a large Japanese population there. So you get a lot more like mixing where you see a lot of thick Asian girls walking around. You're like,
mhm,
oh shit, you know what I'm saying? So I haven't been to Sao Paulo enough to really, move around, but
mhm,
I've been to a place there called Scandalo, which is like a men's place. And I've probably seen some of the most beautiful women I've ever seen in my life in there.
wow.
And they were of all shades. And
Mm.
it was marvel. I was marveling at some of them, like I can't believe you're here and you do this, right? You know what I'm saying? Like you can literally have any guy in the world, but
Right.
some of them were just like some Asian girls was coming in beautiful, black girls. I remember I met this fucking girl from Bahia, and she was like fair skin, green eyes, big titties, hips, beautiful, like just so fine. But I had a date with the girl that I met in Sao Paulo, and I was like, well, I gotta go. I'm not staying. But she was definitely like blew my mind how fine she was. And I was
Wow.
definitely thinking about it, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go on this date because that's kind of where my head is at now. And I actually had the same amount of fun on the date. So I wasn't even tripping, you know what I'm saying? So um and that girl that I'm dealing with, she's Brazilian, she's black, but she looks like a little light skinned girl, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's so diverse here. When someone says they're black, you're like, oh, you think you're black. Oh, okay, cool. But from what you see, they don't look black, but they say they're black.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you're like,
Mm.
okay. it's weird. You know what I'm saying? It's something you
Yeah.
never really seen before, but you
Mm.
definitely like, oh, okay, so you consider yourself a black woman, but you look kind of Latin. It's like this real, I can't even explain it, man. Real exotic looking woman, but she considers herself black. But then there's women who look like us, there's black that you know are black, and some that are lighter that think that say they're black too. And they have curly hair, and they see like, no, I'm a black woman. And you're like, oh, okay. I thought you would think you were. But at the end of the day, they all consider themselves Brazilian. I think they're Brazilian first, and then whatever
Right.
they are second. You know what I'm saying? And but I've had girls be like, they see the white girls. We be in a club, and I mean, we was in a club, and we had we were they were with us in our section, and my boys was like talking to the little white girls in the club, and it's like, see, all they want to do is talk to the black to the white girls, and
Yeah, they get a little jealous, huh?
I was shocked to see that. Like, damn, y'all think like that too? Like, y'all feel like we doing that type of shit? And my boy got into a little debate with them, but I stayed out of it. I'm far beyond that
Right.
conversation. I don't give a fuck, right? So
Right.
I was just like seeing my boys having fun. You know what I mean? So,
Mm.
and that's what it was. They were white girls in there because that's what the most of the girls in the club was. So they were talking to the girls that was around. You know what I'm saying? And I think that as a man here, you pretty much
Mm.
can try all of the fruits on the tree.
That's what
You
I
know,
like.
and yeah,
I
I
don't
mean,
discriminate. I like them all.
yeah, I like all women. I like what I'm attracted to, and most importantly, I like the women that like me.
Absolutely.
Okay?
That goes a long way.
Goes a long way, and that
Mhm.
goes regardless of what color she is. If she
Mhm.
likes me and I like her, then we can do something. You know what I'm saying? So all
Absolutely.
of that, I got guys here to be like, I don't really fuck with white girls. They still got that type of shit in their head. Well, I don't really fuck with white bitches. Like, these ain't white girls like you think they are. These ain't
Yeah.
American white girls. These are Portuguese, Brazilian white women.
Mm.
Totally different. You see what I'm saying?
Mm.
Totally different. They're not the same. They don't think the same. You know, they don't have the same mentality. Is there a little racist energy here sometimes? I wouldn't say I've seen it, but I've heard it being said by Brazilians, black Brazilians. Like, it's more disparity in money. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm.
they're not used to seeing black people with money.
I see.
So
How is it for you being a black male from America? I mean, what's the feeling overall being in Brazil? I mean, do you feel discrimination? Do you feel like, for instance, you know what it is to be a black man in the United States, that pressure,
yeah,
and that you really you got enemies on all fronts. Other races of men don't like you. Of course, the police are looking at you sideways. Your own brothers looking at you sideways. So, what's the vibe there? Just being a black man in general in Brazil, is it a different feeling from being in LA or Atlanta or New York? Is it different?
uh, yeah, worlds of difference. Have I had experiences with police once? But once they realized we were American, they was like cracking jokes and shit with us after that. Like, oh, never mind, figure it out. You know what I mean? Um, I've had situations on elevators where I thought somebody didn't want to get on because they thought I was maybe a delivery guy and I didn't live there. But I think once everybody kind of sees me all the time, they're not used to it. It's probably like one other black person in my building, from what I saw.
Damn.
You know what I mean? My building has like 20 floors. It's like big, so I'm like the only black person walking around, and they kind of know I'm American. Like, they like, you got to be American. Like that. That's the assumption, because they would
Mm.
like, what black Brazilian gonna be here? Like, you know what I'm saying? So, and I had another situation where I was going to see a friend, and he lived in the same area in a nice building, and I was going up to see him, and I had some items. I bought a little suitcase because I was going to Sao Paulo, and I had the bag in my hand, and I put it on the counter of the receptionist. And I was like, yeah, I'm coming to see my friend. And she started taking it and writing on my bag. And I'm like, what are you doing? She thought I was a delivery boy. You know what I'm saying? But I have a
Wow.
gold watch on. I'm dressed, I'm like, no, I'm not delivering shit. Like, give me my stuff. I'm here to see somebody. Like, she assumed that's how much they're not used to you being there. Because if you are, they assume you there to deliver somebody's food.
Damn.
So that's the most I've seen. But as
Wow.
far as like feeling any pressure, as far as police don't even look at you twice out here. They don't even give a fuck about you. Like
Mm.
it's not, they're not looking at you. They're not paying attention. Most of the time, they're gonna say what up and say and give you a nod or some shit. And they're not even gonna look at you like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So
Wow.
it's I never felt no pressure. I never felt uncomfortable. I never felt unsafe at no point. Even
Damn.
going to even
That's
going to a
heavy.
club. Yeah, even going to a club in a favela one time. I went twice and I didn't no point. There's dudes walking around with AKs and shit, and I didn't feel unsafe at no point because nobody looked my direction to be like, who the fuck is that? You know what I'm saying? Like nobody gave me that type of vibe. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, I'm pretty sure if I was in the wrong situation, it could have been something, but I don't think that they're looking for that type of trouble. That's the thing people get misconfused
Mm.
or confused out here is they think that, people in Rio are looking to rob Americans. They might come do little petty shit in Copacabana, like snatch a phone or do some bullshit, but they don't want that type of smoke coming back to their favela. Like if you go
Mm.
in a favela and you go into a party and somebody rob you, and then you call in the police, that means the police are going to come in there and start fucking shit up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
at that part, there'll probably be disciplinary action on that person from the favela. You see what I'm
Mm.
saying? The people that run the favela will probably end up beating their ass and giving you your shit back. You see what I'm saying?
Mm.
Because they don't want you going down there and saying the motherfuckers in the favela robbed me, because they don't want that type of energy. They want to go up there and make their money. The traffickers want to get their bread or whatever the fuck. They don't want the police in there. They don't want
Mm.
no reason for the cops to come raid in and shoot people and
Right.
shit.
And I can see that because if you mess with American, that might bring a little heat because you got the American consulate and it
Right.
might be an investigation and it's already high profile. So
Yeah.
they're intelligent because like we don't want that kind of smoke. That make a lot of sense. A lot of sense.
Yeah.
So I
They
guess it's
don't.
safe to say that being from America, traveling abroad, there is somewhat of an American privilege, which I'm not mad about. I would definitely take advantage of that.
Right. For everything you dealt with in America, I think anybody should want to take advantage of that ability to be outside of that for a while, and
Mm.
what it does for you, your stress levels, your
Mm.
amount of peace that you can have, not having to worry about that outside interference from people that don't like you because you're you. It gives you like, it's a great feeling to be able to just be yourself.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I dress a certain way, I look a certain way, but I kind of get, I go to certain places and people are hugging me, and they fucking certain bars where I'm frequent, they fucking know my name, and they're like, oh, what's up, and they like me, the owners of the bar. What's up, man? Hey, yeah, you know,
Mm.
because I carry myself a certain way. I represent black men properly. You know what I'm saying? They see that I speak Portuguese pretty good, not great, but good. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And I'm always respectful. I'm always saying thank you. I'm always, I don't come here with the arrogance that I see a lot of Americans have, especially black men that get out the matrix and they got their nose up now, and they act a certain way, and I can't even be around them motherfuckers because they're not here for a long time, so they don't carry themselves with the decorum because they feel like I'm going home and ain't no consequence. Fuck it, I'll never see you again type shit. They don't get their food on time. They like, yo, where's the food at, man? I'm hungry. That type of shit at a restaurant. But everywhere I go, it's like, hey man, drink. You want to drink on the house, man? Yo, good to see you. And see how you been? How's your Portuguese? Yo, where you living now? And I think that's because
Mm.
I try to carry myself a certain way, and I make friends here. You know what I mean? I acquire people from Rio that, want to know I'm good, or you need anything, let me know. Or, you know what I'm saying? And that's the type of energy I give. I don't get hostility. You know what I mean? Most you might get is you be in a tournament and you in there doing your thing, and all the girls around you might see a couple dudes like, you know what I'm saying? Because they want them girls over there, but that's not really something major. That's some little shit. But I've never felt like uncomfortable. And even if somebody the energy was off, I was always able to peep it out. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I was able to kind of notice it and maybe throw it off by me noticing it. The person kind of fell
Mhm.
back. And then I'm a bigger dude. I'm like 6'1", 6'2". You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And I'm kind of big for a person in Brazil. So They
Mm.
might think twice about fucking with you. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't
Mhm.
want you to beat that ass.
Right.
So, and you still have that stigma too. Like you might be able to fuck somebody up. So they look
Right.
at it where they don't really deal with, because a lot of the brothers I see come out here, a lot of them, be in shape and they be bigger than everybody. A lot of black men
Mhm.
lift a lot of weights. I see motherfuckers here that they come out here, they on the weight bench getting right. So when they walking on the beach, nobody's really fucking with this dude because he
Yeah.
looks intimidating. Because most Brazilian dudes are very slim and trim.
Mhm.
You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So you look big compared to everybody else.
Yeah.
So, and even my demeanor might be a little serious, a little bit like that, because I
Right.
don't
Because
really,
coming
I
from
really,
America, we keep our serious face on coming from the
yeah.
U.S. Man.
So people look at it and they like, oh, you know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
I think that feeling racism here, I've never really experienced anything that would be close to comparable to the type of energy you get in the States just when you turn on the TV and the shit you hear and see. And, you know, I think that it's here somewhere, but I think it's more for black people that are from Brazil, unfortunately.
Mhm.
I
I
think that
see.
stipulation, that stigma comes to them. And I've heard black people from Brazil even speak that and say it's like, no, you're American. They don't look at you like that. But me, they definitely look at me a certain way. So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? That's much as I can say. But you pretty much good if you come out here and you carry yourself with a little bit, with a little decorum, a little respect. I
Mhm.
think you get meted with mutual respect, men
Mhm.
and women. Um, it's not a hostile place, is way they make it look. I mean, it's criminal shit going on everywhere. But from
Right.
living here for a year, I've never bear witness to violence. I haven't even seen a fist fight here.
Mm.
You know what I mean? No, actually, I've seen two cab drivers scuffling over a parking spot or some shit, but I've never seen just people brawling in the street. Like I
Right.
never. That's not what they do. You know, you
Mm.
go to a nightclub out here, people shooting up the club and people fighting in the parking lot and shit like that. And you
Mhm.
go to a party, people fighting, and you don't see that here. Like I've
Right.
never seen anything close to that. I've never seen a club get shot up or a fight in a club or a party or nothing. Like
Damn.
so, I don't see this violence everybody's talking about. When I look at
Mm.
America, I see violence,
Yeah.
pure
Yeah.
violence. Like
Mhm.
shooting up schools. I don't think you're close to like some war torn city in Israel or some shit.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? With shit like that, where kids is dying, they blowing up hospitals and
Exactly.
shit. Like that's some shit that happens in America. Even Brazilians be like, "What the fuck is going on in America? Y'all are tripping." Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
We look violent to them.
Mhm.
So think about that. We over here thinking Rio, oh my God, it's so violent there. You watching movies. In Rio, they're like, yo, you fucking Americans are crazy. You see what
Mhm.
I'm saying? That's how they think. You motherfuckers got all these guns and shit. They like, pfft. You know what I mean? That's not even a
Mhm.
thing here. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like all of that, Americans like in our gun shit, they don't give a fuck about that. They don't even think like that. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? And
Mhm.
again, like we look violent to them. And but the like, irony is we think it's people will tell you here in America, oh, real safe, not safe. I wouldn't go there. But then motherfuckers always want to be like, oh, you want to get a Brazilian girl and she want to come back to America. These bitches don't want to come back to America. They like, for what? Like, what
Wow.
the fuck is out there? You know what I'm saying? Like that
Mhm.
shit looks nuts. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So you'd be surprised. Like you'd be like, you're like, yo, I don't never, I'll go visit, but I wouldn't live there. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like I don't know where they get that. Everybody's like, yeah, that girl just want a green card to come to America. Come to America and do what?
Exactly.
What is she gonna do? You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Work in a fucking sweatshop somewhere? Like what is she gonna
Mhm.
do in America? And she knows that. Like, damn, I don't, girl don't got no education. She's gonna go to America and be goddamn damn near homeless.
Mhm.
So if she's not with you, so like that's not a thing I've heard. You know what I mean? I heard girls that be like, I want to visit. They never said I want to live there, or I want to
Mhm.
move, or I want to leave my family, or I want to leave this fucking beach and all this shit that I'm used to. That's not normal here. Like, but what
Mhm.
what we saying all this shit at home, all these girls want to come back to America. No, they do not.
Mhm.
They know they live in paradise. Trust me, they do. You understand? They know.
Mhm.
They look at America and be like, yeah, y'all got shit, but I'm cool with this. They grew up like this. You know what I
Wow.
mean? That's something that you got to learn. Like, you might try to ask a girl to come back to America with you, and she would be like, "No." You know what I'm saying? Like, I do not want to go there. What the fuck am I gonna do? And they're not on some shit like they just think they're gonna go there and there's streets paved with gold and shit. They see the news. They're like, niggas shooting up schools. I should be like, yo, what the fuck is that? You know what I'm saying? She was like, yo, somebody shot up a school in America. I didn't tell her. She just asked me, like, yo, did someone
Wow.
shoot up a
That
school?
shit that be going on.
They were little kids. She was like, yo, she
Exactly.
was blown away by that.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So we normalize our violence and then try to tell somebody else that they're violent.
Right. It's
When
worse.
we're the country with the most guns, more
Mm-hmm.
guns than people, and
Exactly.
we're talking about Rio's dangerous. What? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
A fucking 10-year-old girl shot some lady for fighting her mom's. A 10-year-old girl.
Mm-hmm.
And the girl had killed somebody before. This is her second time shooting someone.
Yep. That's
So
America.
this is America. And we're talking about what we seen in City of God movie fucking 15 years ago and basing that on Rio's this violent place.
Exactly.
Yeah, shit goes on here. Yeah, there's crime. People get shot and people, yeah, it happens. But America, the shit you seeing these kids running around, beating up each other and shooting each other in the streets like in Chicago and New York and Atlanta and California, gang violence, ain't nowhere near Rio as bad as that. Ain't nowhere in fucking Brazil as bad as Chicago right now. Nowhere.
Right about that.
Nowhere.
Right about that.
So
Before
for
we
someone,
change, go
yeah,
ahead.
for someone to say we're violent, their violence here is something that'll make you avoid Brazil. I think you're a fool, and I think you're robbing yourself of opportunity to possibly be in the most peaceful place you've ever been in your life.
Wow. Man, that's something I can't wait to get back. Before we change gears, a couple more questions about Brazil. How long have you been there now?
I've been here about a year. Since August, I got my visa in August. I have to renew it in the next couple of months. So that was a year. Then I think I was here for. I got back in March of last year. Got my visa, so I was here about a year and 5 months in one sitting. And then before that, I was home in LA getting myself together to come back. And then before that, I was there from October to around January-ish, February-ish. And then I came back in like April. And then I've been April, March, April. And then I've been here ever since. So about a year and a half, maybe.
Yeah. And you were taking Portuguese classes. I remember last year when I was talking to you. Are you still taking those classes?
I'll probably start back up because I've gotten a lot of Portuguese just by talking. So once I got kind of a foundation of being able to say the things I say a lot, like, you know what I mean? Like using the words that the conversations you have the most. You should try to learn how to have those conversations. Then you just pick up words and shit here and there. And you know, your mind just constantly is just kind of learning as you go. I haven't been in a formal school in probably like 4 or 5 months, but my Portuguese has still always gotten better. So I have a couple options like that nomad visa or some other shit, and I'm looking into that, or I might just go to the school, but then I have to pay for the year again, which is right a little bit over a couple $2,000. But it's easier and it's a little more just cut and dry process. And I think that'll be easier. The other one, I don't really know much about it, and I have a friend kind of giving me the breakdown, so I'm gonna research that and figure it out. But if worse come to worse, I'll just pay the school and pay for another year, and then I'm working on maybe getting an apartment in my name or something, and probably being able to be here permanently. But I'm still establishing, like I just established some credit, you know, and I'm gonna do that with another bank. Probably have a couple credit cards so that I can use that and build that up, and then save my money. You know what I mean? And let my money accumulate, because I think you could probably 25, 30 grand. You could find a little apartment to buy or something and probably fix it up or something. But
Mm.
my process for the next year is basically trying to save as much money as I can and trying to get a resident visa through a crib.
Mm. Oh,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
beautiful. So you think that's where you're gonna be at permanently? You have any other travel plans? You want to go see anywhere else, or is Brazil the place that you just gonna just set your roots down?
Yeah, I think I might set roots down and then travel from here if I'm gonna go somewhere.
That makes sense.
There's other cities in Brazil I have yet to see, so I'm gonna start really getting around. Like I said, I was in a little relationship, so I kind of got sidetracked on traveling a little bit, and
Mm.
then now I'm starting to go places again. I was thinking about going to Sao Paulo this weekend or Minas Gerais. I'm thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to be a little more, have a little more details because every place in Brazil is so different, and the people are so different. And if you go to Rio, you get this one idea of Brazilians, and that's not true. You know what I'm saying? And is real down home people, more chill, conservative, relaxed. You know, it's not all the parties and the bikinis and drinking and the clubs and you know what I mean. It's other places that's way more chill. And Bahia, for example, was like real chill, kick back,
Hmm.
not that much crazy shit going on. So I think I
Hmm.
still want to go to Japan and maybe the Philippines at some
Yeah, we got
point.
to check out the Philippines, brother. We definitely got to check that out.
Yeah, they just seem so slow to kind of open up. I think Thailand is
Yeah.
open, but I still want to wait a while till they it feels or looks normal again. I still look online and it still looks a little shut down. So
Mm-hmm.
I know how that place is from what I remember. And if it
Hmm.
gets remotely close to that again, then I might be
Hmm.
able to, you know what I'm saying? Because that
That
flight
makes
is a
sense.
long flight.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I had to commit to that. So if I
Definitely.
go to Thailand, I'm gonna have to try to hit the Philippines too and
Right.
be out there for a month or some shit, or maybe longer, and get
Yeah.
the full gist of it, or maybe 2 weeks
Mhm.
and 2 weeks or something. And
Yeah.
I
When
think
I
it's
go,
like
I'm gonna
four
try to
or
do a
five
couple
hours
of.
or something.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to do a couple of months and then travel a few places. But I'm thinking about probably setting roots down in the Philippines. But I do want to travel throughout Southeast Asia. I do want to check out Brazil again and definitely Colombia. But I'm thinking that the Philippines, the cost of living is cheap, the crime is almost non-existent. It's just seemed like almost the place to be. So I'm definitely looking forward to that.
And I love Filipino and I love Asian women like a motherfucker.
Yes,
You know what I
indeed.
mean? And that's why I don't really want to get too settled because I still feel like there's an Asian woman out there I'm looking for. I just haven't met her
Yeah.
yet. You know what I'm saying? Um, and
Yeah, we,
I want to at least give it a try. Go to Japan or go to one of these places and see if I meet something fly. Philippines got fly women out there. You know, they speak English, so it's gonna be a little more ill of the vibe. I think that my best situation out here was meeting a couple girls that spoke English, and it made everything a lot smoother. Um,
mhm.
I think that'd be dope. I think not a lot of people speak English in Thailand, so you're kind of like, you're tourist like a motherfucker. But Thailand is fun. But I always was intrigued by the Philippines for some reason.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
I heard it's a lot more, of course you got your cities where, it's the party cities, but I heard it's a little bit more laid back, low key, kind of chill like,
yeah,
so
that's what I
that's why
want.
I think it's more of my style and your style. And let's
Yeah.
change gears with that, man, talking about being low key.